For 300,000 years, human survival relied on a very specific strategy: keeping our biology mostly the same, while aggressively upgrading the tools outside our bodies. We fashioned stone hammers to build shelters, and eventually we built smartphones to outsource our memories. But that distinct line, separating our physical bodies from our external tools, is beginning to blur the devices we rely on to navigate the world. Are migrating from our hands and pockets directly into our biology. The Human Enhancement revolution targets capabilities beyond the species' typical range. It seeks to integrate technology directly into our biological identity, shifting our focus from mere therapy toward the active augmentation of the healthy body, the foundational hardware and biological edits required to build a cybernetic post-human species are already moving through clinical trials. At top research institutions like MIT, we are transitioning out of an era where we simply adapt to the slow, random pressures of natural selection. For the first time, we possess the engineering tools to actively design our own evolutionary path. The most profound of these interventions starts at the absolute base layer of our biology, our genetic code. CRISPR acts as a highly precise programmable DNA surgeon. It allows researchers to target a specific sequence of genetic code, slice out a defect and replace it. In the last few years, this process has become 99% cheaper and significantly faster. This genetic sequencing data is the roadmap for modern gene therapy. Using it, scientists have engineered immune cells to hunt cancer and remove viruses like HIV. Now researchers apply this precision to track the genes, controlling biological decay, testing interventions to rejuvenate aging stem cells. By mapping and manipulating this code, cellular degradation stops looking like an inevitable consequence of getting older and starts looking like a treatable medical condition. While geneticists rewrite our chemical makeup, neuroscientists are building hardware to interface directly with our nervous system. Brain-computer interfaces, or BCIs, bypass physical movement entirely by translating raw neural signals into digital commands. One of the most promising designs is Neuralink, an ultra-thin flexible network of electrodes that unfurls to match the contours of the brain. Because it mimics the physical structure of brain tissue, it can detect and transmit electrical signals without damaging the surrounding cells. We know this neural hardware can survive the harsh biological environment of the human body. Patients with advanced ALS have successfully used implanted BCIs to communicate continuously for up to 7 years after losing all voluntary physical movement. The next phase of this research moves beyond restoring lost functions toward a concept called distributed cognition. This envisions an always-on neural link to external artificial intelligence, allowing humans to instantly augment their memory and information processing speeds. At this level of integration, we achieve a true human-machine symbiosis. The lag time of typing on a keyboard or reading a screen is eliminated, erasing the physical boundary between biological thought and algorithmic output. We are also seeing physical transformations at the microscopic level. Advanced 3D bioprinting allows engineers to take a patient's living cells, arranging them onto microscopic scaffolds to manufacture entirely new vascular networks and replacement organs. Researchers are now integrating biological tissue with conductive, synthetic materials like graphene. This allows for the development of cybernetic prosthetics that can process electrochemical signals faster than organic nerves, creating limbs that surpass natural human limits in strength and sensory range. The physical body essentially becomes a modular platform. Biological and mechanical components can be swapped and upgraded to adapt to environments we were never naturally evolved to survive in. The immediate benefits of these technologies are incredibly appealing. We are looking at a society free from congenital diseases, equipped with advanced cognitive abilities, and living significantly longer, healthier lives. However, these upgrades will be expensive, and early access will be heavily skewed toward the wealthy. This creates the risk of an enhancement divide, where economic inequality physically manifests as a permanent biological class system. Scaling the precision of gene editing to a population level introduces severe security risks. In a geopolitical context, modifying traits could theoretically allow states to enforce genetic monitoring or engineer physical characteristics for military units. a prospect that researchers are already beginning to analyze for its disruptive potential. This academic abstract highlights a growing conflict between algorithmic output and human autonomy as neural implants become more sophisticated. We face the risk of black box decisions, where a patient acts on guidance from an interface without any capacity to interpret the underlying logic, balancing machine logic with intrinsic human values like autonomy. Empathy and dignity will likely prove to be a much more complex challenge than engineering the hardware itself. From manipulating single strands of DNA to wiring our brains directly into the cloud, we are the first generation in history capable of directing our own biological evolution, the tools designed to eradicate disease, hold the power to irrevocably divide or dehumanize our species. Governing this power will require a globally coordinated, legal and ethical response. Managing this transition requires a collective wisdom that matches our technical capacity. As the biological boundary disappears, we must ensure our commitment to human values remains the most durable part of our identity.